I mean, last night we were in a tin hut. It went below freezing last night because there was a frost. How are you finding the sort of the cold in the evenings and the cold overnight when there's very little to do and obviously no heating?
It's definitely a struggle for sure. Although the best way to deal with it really is just to find the funny side of it, because if you just keep complaining about it, it's not going to help your mood, and there's nothing you can actually do to change the situation. So what is most effective for both you and the people around you is to just embrace it.
And going forward, we know we've got an early start in the morning. We're in the process of negotiating with the guide because we want to hit the sunrise, and we're slightly concerned if we leave too late we'll miss it. As somebody who doesn't actually like getting up early, what are your thoughts on that?
Definitely challenging. However, because we've been doing it for the past few days now, it is something I'm slowly acclimatizing to. And again, if you actually want to make the most of your experience here, it's something that you just have to accept and get on with. Time is about 4:30. We woke up early to hit the summit for sunrise. There's quite a few of us heading up. I'm not sure where Keith and Perna are, but I'm with Samir, the porter, and it's freezing. Oh, jam.
Telling beats.
You can see everyone else's light all behind us. As you can tell, I'm quite competitive, so we want to be the first to the top. We see two people in the distance. I tell Samir we're catching them. Get closer, and it's Keith and Perna. Well done, guys. We wasn't sure whether you'd left or not. We were looking around for you, and we thought we don't want to leave it too long because everyone else is going to start coming.
They go ahead of us though, because they're going to catch us. I'm sure you want to be first on the building.
Yeah, we do.
Telling beats.
With pleasure. Okay, we've got some people in the distance, so no time to stop. Run! Final sprint! Yes! Whew. Baby, just like that. First ones to the top. Wait, are we? I thought we're first ones to the top. There's two bikes here. There. Jeez! Yes. Ati Sonda. We made it to the top. I literally look like a floating head. It's still pitch dark up here. It's so cold. Here we have Perna and Keith.
That's a fucking result, that is, I'll tell you.
Hey!
Telling
Myself.
beats.
Good job.
I'm the second trekker.
You are, yes.
I don't know, I'm just dead. My legs are dead, my arms are dead, and I can't breathe.
Good job, Perna.
Thank you so much.
So we're up here, now we wait. Can I video?
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah, this is my document.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bomb boy, you know.
Ha.
They push the ghost away. We'll get
Gets rid of ghosts.
yeah.
Ah, with
We call
snake bone.
We call that,
Wow.
You have
Wow.
Wow.
a person
So this is used by him
Wow.
To
protection.
as protection from the ghosts. This is his shield of armor.
Man.
Ah.
Man and a man.
things, you know.
Yeah.
Ah. Is I'm confused.
You reckon? Yeah.
11.
The elephant. Yeah.
Elephant?
11.
Ah, I see.
Okay.
Yes. Atisonda.
Who's in the room?
Atisonda.
Not this one, yeah.
Hey. Okay.
Big elephant. Big nose.
That's like
Tom,
Tom.
Yes.
Namaste.
Dhanibat. Ati dhanibat. Namaste. Oh, it was one of the strangest experiences of my life. An exorcist, a Nepalese exorcist, just came into our tea room. He just walked past outside. I just went namaste, and he saw me, and he came in, and he just started booking out. It was so weird.
Stop talking to strangers. I keep telling you about that.
I must
Cost
be
me 50 rupees. I'm talking to a stranger. Which you owe me.
I'll pay you back. Yeah.
You owe me.
I think it's the jumper that attracts him, maybe.
Outwardly, you're doing fine, but I know inwardly you're starting to find some things testing your patience a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that all connected, do you think?
Yeah. I think it's a combination of things that's testing the patience, really. Partly the boredom, because there's so little to do after the walk-in for the day. There's also the problem of such a strong communication barrier between the locals, our guide and porter. So it is pretty much only you that I can communicate my actual feelings to and express myself properly. If you really want to understand how people different to you live their lives, you have to live how they would. Because it's so cold in the mornings, pretty much have to get changed while still in your sleeping bag. One tip Keith has given me though, keep all your clothes at the bottom of the sleeping bag, right here, because as you warm up the sleeping bag, all the clothes stay warm inside. Admittedly though, it is still cold. Day 6. Let's begin. Very declining day today, which I'm sure Keith will be happy about. Don't get too excited, Keith. I'd say an analytical breakdown of this trek has been 70% very steep incline, 25% very steep decline, and then 5% straight, just flat. So we're definitely savouring the moment when we're not having to climb a vertical wall essentially. Not had the best of luck with animals on this trip. I got attacked by a yak the other day. Hey buddy. Hello.
If he headbutts you gently, that's a good thing, it's not a bad thing.
Oh really?
It just means he wants more, basically. If you're feeding it, he'll often try and headbutt you gently to say they want more food.
This one seems pretty tasty.
Yeah, it does for the minute.
Hello. So where are we going, Perna?
We are going Tutuntuli Monastery today. One of our Nepal, one of the head Lama as well.
Oh, one of the 8 lamas.
Yeah, important monks live here.
Yes.
He was born 4 years ago. He's reconnect now, and another 10-15 years later he will come here. Before monk Lama,
Yeah.
Marimurche ashes in there.
His ashes from his previous life are there?
Yeah.
Ah, wow.
7 years before.
Ah.
And then
So long story short, the monastery we're going to is quite a popular and important one because one of the lamas, he's lived there and been reincarnated about 17 times. So his ashes are still there. Pretty nice if you ask me. Let's get cracking. So the most unreal thing just happened while we were at the temple. We went into this prayer room that had these long lines of cushions where the monks would chant and meditate on, with gigantic golden shrines and statues of things like the Buddha and all crazy stuff. And Perna, our guide, must have spoke to someone, pulled some strings, because we were allowed to stay in there when all the monks came in and started chanting. And no word of a lie, it was just so surreal hearing all of these voices in perfect harmony, chanting words with so much substance and power behind them. And I wasn't really sure how to react. I don't think they were either when they came in to do their daily chanting and saw some random English geezer sitting there. But I tried to be respectful as possible in there. I didn't film, and I was so cautious about every single thing I did in there, as I didn't want to offend anyone. but we were given this tea. It had what I think was butter, flour, tea and milk. Something weird like that we were given after the chanting that really wasn't that nice, but I drank anyway, obviously to be respectful and polite, despite not being able to get any footage of the place. It definitely was something that will remain in the memory for a long time. Literally just walking along the path and we just found a whole army of cows and bulls. This is actually like my dream because I love cows and I wanted to hug one for so long, but we're on the edge of a mountainside and I'm worried that if I hug him and he ain't too happy, he's gonna throw me off the mountain. I can stroke. Oh, namaste cow. We literally have an army of them. If they got pissed off at us and they charged us, we'd actually be gonskis. Ooh, ox?
Ox, yeah.
This is ox? Yeah. I know stroke then. They attack if I stroke.
Ox is very angry.
Very angry?
Yeah.
I won't stroke. I also love how these gumpas are just placed everywhere you go. So current altitude 2,600, end altitude tonight about 3,600. What are your thoughts, Keith?
I don't want to think about it.
I have to say, if it's this steep the whole way up, we'll get there pretty fast. Here he comes, the weary traveller.
Alright.
Oh, that's where we're staying tonight?
Yeah, White Temple.
The camera quite hasn't got enough zoom to get close to it, but it looks like quite a trek.
Not from here.
Thanks, mate.
But it's how many steps is the question.
Many as needs be.
More than 1,000.
More than thanks, Berna. More than 1,000. That's right.
It'll be a very cold night tonight.
I would not be surprised. They got a little shop. That's convenient.
Stickers, got Mars,
A trekker's dream. Oh, damn. Didn't know that was a thing round here.
No, that's the first I've seen.
Lovely.
It's bijou.
So we've been at our tea house for the night, an hour or so, just chilling, taking it easy, relaxing, and then some Canadian geezer comes along out of nowhere, and he literally, he was such a waste man. Literally appears, says to Perna, our guide, he goes, "I've one dal bat and one veg fried noodles," and I'm thinking to myself, bro, Perna doesn't even work here, he's our guide. And then he proceeds to take his top off and get changed in front of all of the locals, which is extremely disrespectful in Nepal. And just the manner in which they went about what they wanted to do was just so rude. And I spoke to Keith about it afterwards. We walked away from the situation and we decided to not say anything to them because it would just elevate the situation and we'd just bring ourselves down to their level. But it was quite upsetting the way people had such little regard for others. All of his little bum chums came along and they were just being as rude. And Keith mentioned that there was a lot of people like this in Nepal, a lot of the tourists. And it was only once I actually perceived it myself that I was able to take it in and realise just how messed up it is. The message I'd have to anybody watching this video is that no matter where you go in the world, treat everybody with respect, whether they're black, white, rich, poor, male, female, whatever. Because the underlying factor is that we're all human beings just trying to do our bit and get by in this world. Don't be one of them waste men that thinks they're better than someone else because they've got more money, because that ain't true. And that's all I have to say. In that tea house in the main room, there's just an absolute onslaught of plugs and trying to get all jammed in to charge their phones and various devices, and purely for the reason that there were so many people scrambling around to get to it, I decided not to, because I didn't want to be like that, you know, that stereotypical Westerner that is so key, paranoid. Like, I need my phone, I need my electricity. Like I did kind of want a charge for my phone, but my desire to not be a waste man overcame that. And so begins the final day of trekking. Thoughts, anyone?
Yeah, I'm ready for the trek to end. I feel dirty, I'm running out of clothes. I like some food that I'm familiar with.
It sounds like this has been a long time coming for you.
Been a good trek so far. We've got a day to do, and then we've got Kathmandu tomorrow.
Should be a nice finish to the journey.
Indeed.
As it's the last day of our trek, one would assume that we've got no choice but to go down to get to the car where we're getting picked up. However, one would think that would be wrong, because we're still going up. Path goes up and up and up, and I'm starting to think this isn't actually the end of the trek, because we've got to go down at some point, right? Ati sonda. Donibat. So we have some cheese, Tibetan bread, apples, and 2 hard-boiled eggs. Yummy. Oh yeah?
One at the back.
Right in the distance, just peeking over. Never thought I would be eating lunch watching Everest. And the journey continues. We stop for lunch at 3,700 meters, and our end point today is 2,004. So I suspect it's going to be a very steep decline on the rest of the journey today. Or maybe not. I guess we're going up again. And just like that, we've arrived. And as the final night of the trek draws to a close, we lay our heads on some very sophisticated Mickey Mouse covers. What are you thinking of the covers, Keith? They definitely suit you.
I'm thinking, have they been washed after the last person slept in the bed, is what I'm thinking.
Probably not.
No. So the decision is sleeping bag or risk catching something nasty.
I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it. Right. Night, guys. Time to do our parting goodbyes with Samir, our porter. He's been very good, very helpful over the last week or so.
Okay, so here we are, end of our trek. We're all packed up, ready to move on. Is there anything that you would take from your experience here in Nepal?
I think that there's so much that I've learned since this journey began. What I would say really resonates with me most though, is the knowledge that whatever you do, you should allow it to happen organically and in its own time. People have developed such a tendency to want everything to happen now. Demands for their needs to be met have become insatiable. As a result, it almost feels as though we've reached a point where we've forgotten that everything will still happen regardless of human interference. So I think it's important to remember that the more you force something to become what you want it to be, the less you allow it to mature into what it's supposed to be. So often I've been told that patience is a virtue, and it's only now that I really understand just how true that is. And this really becomes apparent when you realise there's a special kind of appreciation that can be found when you've allowed something to flourish in its own time. So try not to rush, and understand that often, good things take time. For those of you that are new, we are the founders of Joy. I hope every single one of you stays blessed and stays balanced.